Have you ever stopped to think about the power of silence? In a world that values loud voices and oversharing, the art of being quiet is often overlooked. Yet, silence isn't just about withholding words. It's a profound tool for wisdom and discernment, especially for those seeking to live a meaningful life rooted in faith. Proverbs 17:28 captures this well. Even fools are thought wise when they keep silent. With their mouths shut, they seem intelligent. Choosing when to speak and when to stay silent is often what separates wise people from everyone else. Our lives are filled with moments where silence speaks louder than words. While society encourages us to share everything we're doing, the truth is that some of our greatest achievements and deepest insights are best kept within. In Matthew 10:16, Jesus instructs, "Be wise as serpents and gentle as doves." This wisdom encourages us to be vigilant and discerning, even as we engage with those around us. Unfortunately, not everyone we encounter has our best interests at heart, so discretion is a wise friend along life's path. Take a look at the life of Jesus. His life was an example of perfect love, kindness, and compassion. He healed the sick, showed mercy to the sinners, and lived solely to help others. Yet despite his perfection, he still had enemies, people who actively sought to harm him and undermine his mission. In John 15:19, Jesus warns, "If you were of the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you." It's a sobering reminder that sometimes, no matter how much good you do, people may still dislike you or wish you harm. It's easy to live with the naive belief that everyone we meet will treat us kindly, but that's not the case. Even though it might feel discouraging, Jesus shows us that we don't need everyone's approval or affection to walk confidently. Psalm 23 provides an image of God's support amidst challenges. "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." God doesn't promise to eliminate all opposition. Instead, He assures us that we'll find strength and sustenance, even when people around us don't have our best interests at heart. There's a well-known story about Joseph, a young man with big dreams and a big heart. Joseph's dreams were bold and prophetic, revealing a future where he would rise above his brothers. But sharing these dreams didn't inspire encouragement. It provoked jealousy, even rage. Joseph's brothers felt threatened, and their jealousy drove them to betray him. They plotted against him, eventually selling him into slavery. Though Joseph was blessed and his dreams did come true, his story shows the importance of discretion. Sharing too much too soon can sometimes attract negativity rather than support. In Genesis 37, we see Joseph's youthful confidence lead him to make a costly mistake. If he had been more selective about sharing his dreams, he might have saved himself some heartache. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have ambitions or dreams, but instead suggests that some things are better kept private until the time is right. When we hold on to our plans and goals, working toward them quietly, we give them space to grow without interference from others. Joseph's story isn't the only example of silence as a wise choice. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. When she learned that she would give birth to the Savior, she could have shared her news far and wide, but she didn't. She kept these things close to her heart, understanding that some of life's most significant revelations are meant to be pondered quietly. Luke 2:19 says, "But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart." She trusted God to guide her through her unique journey without the need for external validation or applause. Keeping sacred things private is a practice rooted in wisdom. It's tempting to share personal revelations with others, but sometimes doing so can change the course of events. In Matthew 1, verses 18 to 20, Joseph, Mary's fiancé, was unsure about staying with her after learning she was pregnant. However, instead of confronting him, Mary allowed God to speak to him. In doing so, she trusted that her silence and God's guidance would be enough to protect her path. Silence is essential not only in faith, but in relationships as well. Sharing every detail of our personal lives and relationships with others can sometimes be harmful. Marriages, friendships, and family ties thrive when protected from external opinions. Instead of discussing every private matter with outsiders, we should seek God's guidance and counsel from trusted sources. The Bible encourages us to keep our words and plans to ourselves, focusing instead on nurturing the bonds we hold dear. Discretion in relationships doesn't mean isolation or secrecy. There's wisdom in sharing struggles and joys with close friends or counselors, but being selective helps prevent envy or interference. Some things are sacred and flourish better when nurtured quietly. Proverbs 11:13 says, "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret." When we choose to protect our privacy, we also honor the people we love by not inviting unnecessary complications into our lives. Words are powerful tools, and the way we use them reveals much about who we are. Colossians 4:6 says, "Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person." Every word we speak can bring healing or harm, and our words can shape the lives of those around us. This responsibility calls us to a higher standard, where we choose words that uplift, encourage, and comfort rather than tear down. Jesus spoke on this as well, explaining that words reveal the state of our hearts. In Luke 6:45, he said, "A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of." Just as fruit reflects the health of a tree, our words reflect the health of our hearts. This doesn't mean we'll always say the right thing, but it reminds us to be intentional. Words, once spoken, can't be taken back, so they should be thoughtful and considerate. God values every word we speak, so using them wisely reflects our character and love for Him. In a noisy world, choosing silence can be revolutionary. Silence gives us space to consider, to ponder, and to grow. When we're not quick to share every thought, we give ourselves the freedom to nurture dreams, foster healthy relationships, and speak words that reflect a heart aligned with God's will. In everything, may we remember the strength in silence, a strength that allows wisdom, humility, and grace to shine brightly in our lives.